DIY solar setup. Hello, I am Once. I am from Cebu, and on this video, I'm going to explain how ATS works and what is its purpose. And I'm creating this video, by the way, for my family members or for my wife, for them to be able to troubleshoot my solar setup whenever I am not around and there's a time that it will have a problem. So I'm compiling this video for that purpose, and hopefully other DIYers or their family members will have a reference also upon seeing these videos. So this is my ATS. Actually, ATS is intended for automatic transfer switch. So whenever you have a solar energy setup from your inverter, electricity from your inverter, and you have an electricity from your provider or from your grid, uh, you may able to automatically transfer the sources from your solar or your grid. So it happens when, say for example, your batteries are low bat, or there's no sunlight and your solar setup won't be able to produce electricity, then you might need to go back to your grid. So without plugging out everything or selecting which outlet you need to plug in. So ATS is very helpful, or automatic transfer switch. So before I do explain its wirings or the diagram, I'd like to explain how ATS works in high level. So this model is the cheap one. I just bought it around 700 to 800 pesos, and but it works in my end. So there's another type of ATS, the expensive one that's better in terms of transferring. So basically, ATS has all of it has a automatic or a manual configuration. So the purpose of it is that whenever you want to transfer the electricity source automatically, you can switch on this option, or if you want to just select it manually, you can switch on this option. And there's N here and R. It means that this is your normal and this is your reserve. So the purpose of it is that when you try to connect your solar inverter or the output of your inverter to your normal, it becomes your primary source of electricity. So whenever your solar is available, this is where your source of energy uh, will be from your ATS. And reserve, when you connect your grid or your electricity provider here, it becomes your reserve power. So whenever your batteries are low, but it will switch to your reserve energy. But if you put your grid here, for in some cases, you put your grid here in your normal and there's a brownout or a blackout, it switches to your solar energy. That's another kind of case that you want to. So if you have a smaller setup and you just want your solar to be your secondary, and whenever there's a blackout or a brownout, you want a continuous power. So solar will be your reserve energy or source of electricity. So in my end, my solar is my primary. So I will try to show you how it works. If I turn off my inverter, so this is my inverter, it is connected to my normal. If I turn off this one, it switches off the indicators here in my normal and switches to the reserve source, which is my grid. So basically, all my appliances will switch to my grid. And whenever I turn on again my inverter, it switches back to the normal or the source from solar energy. So this ADS has a what you call this? It flickers, or I think a 1 second interval whenever it turns on again. So meaning, if you use it to your television or your TV will be turned off, and you need to manually turn on it again whenever it switches. So your ref, you need to add more devices so it won't be broken, since it will have on off whenever it switches. So there are another kind of ETS, the expensive one, around 1.8 or 2,000. That one doesn't on off whenever it switches, but this one works for me for now. So this one I used. So I'll show you the uh, diagram or the wirings inside my ETS. So I'll try to open up, and this one I just customized the cover. So as you can see, there's the wire of my inverter. This is one. It's the output from my inverter, the AC. And this is my uh, grid wire going here on the reserve. And below are parallel connection. So I'll show you a simple diagram how ATS works for you to understand more in terms of the wirings for ATS. So here is my simple diagram. Uh, Inverter AC out and grid AC out. So as you can see, this is my ATS, and L means live and ground. Live and ground. So basically, your inverter AC out, you'll just need to connect the live and the ground from the left side or your normal, and the live and the ground from your grid on the right side. And below, the direct line output from your inverter should be parallel to the direct out from your grid. So live ground, just need to parallel it. And the output for this parallel connection will be going to your outlet, and this will become your source of electricity. So ATS will just manage to transfer which source does it need. So basically, this is the simple diagram for your ATS, going from your inverter and your grid, and you just need to parallel both of these lines and create an output for your outlet. So that's the basic diagram for ATS. So hopefully this video helps in your end when you try to create your DIY solar, and whenever your family members want to troubleshoot your setup and you're not around. Hopefully this one helps. Thank you for watching.